Okay, we're all set. It is recording. So to start off, both of you have access, and I see that you both activated your accounts. Let me know if you need any help with the link, but it should just be OSV editor.osvwebsites.com. So when you log in, this is what you will see when you log in. Right now, to show you how it looks like, I am logged in as Louisa. So I see her email at the top right corner. If you were to have multiple websites with us, you could click on this button called Sites and move back and forth into the websites. So you don't need separate logins, but you don't have more than one website with us, so you won't be using this button. In your website, once we go publish, this will go green. This will change to your URL. We just have a name for it right now. So this will change once you're published. On the top right, you have stats as well as the left-hand side. It'll take you to this in the middle. There are no stats yet because you're not published. Once you are published, when you log in, you will be able to see a graph and numbers as to how many people have visited your site, whether it be through the desktop or the tablet and cell phone, which is mobile. So you will be able to view those statistics when you log in. Next is form responses. So when you have a form in Radius, you would go to Forms. And in Radius, you would click on the form or go to Form Vault. The Form Vault is essentially right here. This is essentially the Form Vault to view the submissions. You can, when you have as many submissions, you can download a CSV file and it'll have all the information down. Once you start to see submissions, you can click on the submission and it'll have a little pop-up in the middle for you to see the submission. The one thing you cannot do is download a PDF file, so you can't do that. We do recommend that you can use the OSV Hub forms. So I actually sent you both invitations to the OSV Hub. We have a forms section where you can create a form. We have templates available for you. This is free. And you can copy the link of the form. So for example, I can show you what that looks like on my demo. When you go to forms, you'll have a link. This is a form that I created. You will have a link that you can copy and paste. It will have your church's information on the right-hand side. When you click on the form, you don't have our online giving, so you can't accept payment, but you can click on the form and download it as a PDF file. So there's two ways that you can create forms. You can use the website's form, or you can use what we have available for you in the OSV Hub. So if you have more questions on that, let me know. But we have two options for you to use forms. So next is the preview button.
I'm sorry, just a sec. Lisa has a question, but tienes que presionar el teléfono unmute.
Okay. Luisa?
Yes.
What is the other form? The one that we can create is on the website form, and the other one, what is the name you say?
OSV Hub.
OSV Hub.
I sent you invitations, so both of you should see emails. I invited you to the platform just now.
Yeah.
So
yes,
you could.
I'm taking.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. So you'll be able to create a form. You can title it parish registration, or you can click on the parish registration, and then you can edit all of these templates. They can be edited, so they're not it's not that you can't change them. You can change all of these templates, or you can create a blank one. So we have two options. So when you log in, you have your stats, forms. We have this preview button. When you click, it'll open up a new tab for you. And this new website, you can view what it looks like on the desktop, on the tablet, and on the cell phone. You can copy and paste and send this to anyone. Not everyone has to have editor access. So you can just copy and paste this and send it to the pastor, for example, and he can just look at the websites. He can click on the desktop, the tablet, the cell phone. You can view it as the Android or the iPhone or go back. He can also click on buttons and interact with the website. It'll change. As you can see here, I'm on the About Us, the Welcome. I can click on the cell phone and go to Giving. So you can interact with this platform. If you go to the desktop, it'll take you to where you were at. So that is a little neat tool that you can send the link, and they don't have to have a login like you two do. You just have to share the link. This is one of two places I'll show you when we get in. So now when you want to edit the website, you log in, you're going to click edit. So on this website, you are going to see, I'm going to close out of this because there's one button that once you're published, so I'm going to go in through my end and we're going to go edit. So now I'm in the website, and now I can edit the website. I'm going to start off with the top navigation bar at the top and explain what each button does, and then I'm going to go on the left hand side. So there's three places that you can navigate through the editor. You can click on this top left button, home. You can click on newcomers. You can click on beliefs, or you can do it on the actual website. Click on Our Faith. It'll take you to Our Faith. Go back to the home button. That's the second place. And then the third place is pages. So these are called pages, just like Radius. These are called pages, pages, and then pages you can click. Three places. Next, you can view each edit, desktop, the tablet view, and the cell phone view. If you were to change and add to our church, you can go to the tablet and the desktop and you will see welcome to our church. Next is the search. If you have any questions, if you like to read articles to see how to add a text, you can read. These are articles, or these are the widgets that you can use. If you have any questions, you can email us. You have our email, churchwebsites@osv.com, or you can call us. But here is a third place that you can go to try to see what you're trying to do. And it'll open up an article for you to go through and how to edit. So kind of your search. This icon, info and tools, this information will change once your website is published. This will change to your URL. Preview link, here is the second place where you can also copy and paste and send it to someone that needs to view the website. So that's the second place. They can just do the desktop or the tablet and cell phone or all the devices. Here is the second place where you can view your statistics. So when I showed you when you log in, you can see the stats. Here is the second place where you can view the stats. Clients, you actually won't see this on your end. If you need us to add a client for privacy reasons, only you or Louisa can let us know. You can give us their first and last name and their email, and we will send them an invitation just to make sure that, just in case John calls and says, I need access, it only can be you two because only you two have access to the website right now. So if anyone else needs website access, you let us know. And then there's also settings that we have to add. So we'll take care of that for you. Editor language. So if you speak Spanish and you want to change it to Spanish, it'll change the editor in Spanish for you. So you can do that for your login when you log in. The next thing is, I'm gonna go back to English. Next is this little bubble. This is a place that is called to share comments. So between you two, between editors, you can leave comments behind this little pop-up right here on the right-hand side. You click, it goes away, and it comes back. This little add comment button. So you can add anywhere. Let's say you want to go here. You can leave comments behind for each other. Click submit and it'll show number 1. Here is your logs. So you can see who's left comments behind to the website. Any changes that you're making, you can communicate with one another. Next is the saving changes, the undo and the redo button. So this is the difference between the new platform and Radius. In Radius, you go to a page, and if you make changes to it and go back or leave, it won't save it. You have to click Save as Draft. On this new website, you do not have to click Save as Draft. On this new website, it automatically saves for you. This is the automatic save. So when I type in to our church, it's going to save it automatically. I do not have to click Save as Draft. I can undo, and it's going to save that undo. And that's it. It's saving it as you go, as you make changes. Now, if you, as you can see here, I can go redo. I can go undo again. If I go to a new page, it resets. So now I can't undo or redo. If I go back to the home page, that's technically another new page I'm going to. So it resets again. I can't undo or redo how I had the welcome to our church because it resets when you go to a new page. So once you make changes to your website, it saves automatically. So when you make changes, you want to publish them and click on the green button, and that makes it go live. On this new platform, you will have this red button. And when we publish your website, you're not published yet, but when we publish it, it'll say republish. So instead of the green button, you will be clicking the red republish button. So you make changes, they're saved. I want to click republish to make them go live. So if you make changes and you're not ready for them to go live, you do not have to click live, but your changes will be saved. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Next is the access to the HTML and CSS. You can click this button if you are interested. You can go and look or change anything through the coding. You do not have to. If you have any questions, let us know. And then here is the third place where you can preview. I clicked on preview. I can preview the tablet, desktop, and iPhone, Android, go back. Here is the third place where you can copy and paste the link. So there's 3 places. Preview. And then there's the republish. It'll say republish. Any questions here before I go on the left-hand side?
Nope, we don't have any questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. So next is more of the editing of the website. So the design button, this one is what I like to call the default settings. I don't know if you asked if you could change the colors of the template, but yeah, I told you yes, you can. So this is where you would change that. Here we would go to glow. So this template that you chose has the fonts and colors set because of the template that you chose. We already have settings for them, but you can change those settings. So you click on global text, and here you can change the settings to your paragraph. So for example, this is a paragraph, and it is set to the font size, the color. You can, as you can see here, it's more of the blue. If you want to change it to black, you can change it to black. Here is the header 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can change all of these settings. So what that is, when you add a text box, instead of having to click on the text box and finding the font, and then finding the size, finding the color, you can just go ahead and click header type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So when you click on one of these 3, it'll take you to the default. As you can see though, header 1 is actually set to a dark blue, and this one's white. So when you add a text, it'll be that dark blue, but you can change the font colors for a text. So for example, this is kept to the header 2. This is using header 2, but if you wanted to, you can change the colors. It does not have to stay to the color of the font. So I want to change this to white. And you can change it to white if you want to. I'm going to click undo. So just because there's settings does not mean you can't change. You can change all the font colors. It just has a default. Same for buttons. As you can see here, the border and the hover is dark blue. Let me show you what that looks like. I can find a button. So the background color, here we go, is set to no color, and the hover is blue. So this means, and the border is dark blue. So here there is no color for the button. it is set to the dark blue when you hover over it. So this is the button. This is the shape. If you change it, it'll change the shapes to the buttons. So this is the settings for adding a button. As you can see here, this one, when you hover over it, it is not blue. It is white. So the settings for this button was changed, and you can do that. Images is square. You can change it to more round or circular. Rows, we recommend you just keep them white. So this row is white. This is a row. This is a row. This row has a picture. This row, I think, kind of has more of a, I don't know if this is white, maybe more of a blue tint to it. Here's a picture. Here is a light blue row. So we recommend that you keep them white, and then you can change the background color if you would like to. Background, the background, they are also white. For example, this is set to, the header is set to a dark blue, but whenever you go to a home page, the background, if you were to change it, this is what it would look like. So anywhere where there is a spot, let's see here. Because these are mostly all set to a specific color. Let me go to the background. So you can do this for all pages, and then you can change the background for like the home page. As you see here, it is kept white, and we just recommend that you keep it white because you can change the colors. Lastly is the site layout. You can choose for the desktop. Right now it's using the top header, which is this, the navigation. You can choose a side menu or an expandable. The iPad has 2 choices, the tablet and the mobile has 2 choices that you can choose from. So you can choose those. So those are your default settings that you can change. Next is pages. You can, so I showed you how you can move to newcomers, you can move to the pages. Now, as you can see here, newcomers has sub-menus. You can do up to 2. So you have your main menu, sub-menu 1, sub-menu 2. So what that looks like is under newcomers, we have beliefs, and we have the sub-menu of beliefs. How to change that? If you want to change our faith, you click and hold and drag it up. Now it moved it. If you want it to go to the bottom, it'll move it all the way to the bottom. I want to move it back, so I'm going to click and hold and move it back. Let's say that you want We Are the Church underneath Becoming Catholic Today. Click and hold and move it to the right. So now Becoming Catholic has We Are the Church. I don't want that anymore, so I'm going to move it back. As you can see here, the gray. And now it's back. So click, hold, and drag to edit the navigation menu. Next is the settings. So each page, as you can see, has their own settings button. You can rename the page. You can hide and show a navigation. So what that means is we have this faith in action, and it's not in your menu because we hid it from the menu. What that is your faith in action content down here below on your header and your footer. Your Catholic news and perspectives and Simply Catholic, these are pages, but they're not going to be on your menu. So when you don't want something on your menu, you hide from all. So you can hide from all, and then if you want to show it, show on all. There it is, faith in action. I want to hide from all. It goes away. You can duplicate a page. So if you want Simply Catholic under newcomers, you can duplicate it and then move it. So you can duplicate pages. You can lock for client editing. So let's say Louisa is working on a page. She can lock it and only Louisa can edit the page. The next thing that you'll probably use is set access. For example, a church has a directory and they have a password. They only give this to parishioners that are registered. So all pages are open to everyone unless you choose a password protected. You enter the password and only those that have the password can view the page. Lastly, you can delete. So those are the ones that you'll use most frequent. Next, we will add a new page. The two you'll most commonly use is a blank page and a page URL. So blank page, I'm going to add a test page. I add, it'll be added to my navigation menu. It'll have the footer, the header and the footer. It'll just have a blank page in the middle for you to add content. Page URL, you can do the for example, OSV Hub. You would copy and paste the link. Add page. So when they click on this page, this is an external URL page. It'll take them straight to the page. It'll take them straight to the page. So it won't take them to a content page. It'll take them straight to the external link. Back to pages. I'm going to delete that. So when you have an external URL, you will see this little world symbol. It'll say external URL. I'm going to delete. Our services is a contact, or I'm sorry, it's an about page. The template already has an about page. Contact us, you do have a contact template page. So these are templates, just like the portfolio, project, and landing page. These three are typically used for a home page. So these 5 you can use as templates, but you already have these, but you're more than welcome to use them or look and see how they look like. Folder in Radius, when you go to your website, as you can see, you cannot click on ministries, parish life, the bulletin. It does not go anywhere. This is called a folder page. So in this new website, you can, as you can see, click on Our Faith and it takes you to a page. A folder, when you create a folder page, all that is doing is creating a page that you cannot click on. So I can't click on Parish Life. I can click on Bulletin because it takes me straight. There is no menu for Bulletin. Contact, I can't go to Contact. When I go to Contact, it does take you to a page. So if you need a folder page, that is what you will add, a folder page. Any questions over pages?
No. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Next is widgets. We'll do pop-ups in a second, and I will show you what pop-ups is. Widgets. This is where you start to create your website and edit. As you start to use widgets, you will have your frequently used and you will have your popular widgets. So those will start to create as you use the website. So what these two come from are the basics, the media, business, and social. So the basics, I'll start with this widget. What you're going to do is you're going to click, hold, and drag until you find insert here. As you can see here, I inserted a text into one row. If you want to see the settings for this row, you can right click and you can add rows below. So it added another row or add a row above. It added a row above. Another neat thing that you'll start to see is in the widgets basics, you can add columns. So you added a row. As you can see here, it says empty column. You can add up to 4 columns. So you right click, add column, add column, add column, and there are 4 columns. Or you can use the widget 4 columns and it'll add a new row with 4 columns. So there's 2 ways to do that. Now what this does is when you move widgets, it just evenly divides the widgets for you. So there's paragraph. Next is button. So I'm going to add a button. In this button, there's the settings where you hover over and it's blue. When you add widgets, you will start to see this box. So when I click on only text is the only one that doesn't do that because it's just text. Every widget will have a content and a design page where you can edit the widget. Content, I would remember it as the information that is being inputted. And then design is what it looks like. So you can make the button smaller, longer. You can change the name. In the button, you can have it go to an existing page, which is on your any of your pages. It can go, so if they click on this, it'll go to Sacraments, or it'll go to the About Us page. You can have them go to a separate website, a pop-up, anchor, email address. So if they click on this button and their computer is set to their Gmail, it'll open up their Gmail and enter in the email address so that they can email. Click to call, you can enter in the church's phone number for a button, and when they click on it, it'll dial the phone number on their cell phone. File, you can download, here is where you will download your files. So your images, PDF files. Once you download, you can select. So that is what button is. The next one that's familiar with button is file. File, all it is, it's ready for you to do a file. So as you see here, some of these widgets are ready for you to use with what you're trying to do. So button, or if you know you need to download a PDF file for someone to click on, you can just do file. Divider, you can enter a divider to make some space. So kind of make some space, even out the website and make it look nice. That's a divider. a spacer. For example, let's say, let's close this out and let's close this out. Let's say that you want more room between the divider and the footer. You can add a spacer. Click, hold, and drag. It'll add space in between what you're trying to separate. So that's a spacer. Next is large title and small title. So what this is, instead of clicking on text and how I showed you, you can click on, in the text, you can click on headers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can select the header and it'll already have it ready for the title, header 1 settings. You can select the header 3 and it'll do the header 3 settings. So header 3. Next is the list. So the list, we're going to get into widgets where you can use to show different content, so different information. So this is a list. Let me clear some of it. I'm going to clean some of this up real quick. So this is a list. When you click on the list, I dragged it out into the middle. Oops. Second. My computer. One second. Can you see my screen?
No, we can only see, I don't think you're sharing it.
Okay. Let's try that. Is it good again?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. That was weird. Let me, I need to go to radius again. Okay. So let's go back to the test page. So list, I'm going to click on the widget. List can be used for different things. Some churches use this for the bulletin just because it's easy. So you don't have to have a picture. As you can see, it removed it. You don't have to have a link. Here's the link. You can have a button instead, or you just don't have to have that. And as you can see, it just has a title and a description. So when you build your list, you can actually still go back to change your elements. But as you start to create your list, you can remove and you can still add content. So when you add, you'll click on list 1 and you can do 5122 and bulletin. So it'll change it for you. You can add the file. So you'll go back to change your element and you can link a button to bulletins. So we would click link to file and you can download your bulletin file. So that's an example of what List can do for you. You don't have to use it for your bulletin. You can do sport events or so that's just a list of information that you can share. Next is, where's the list? List, I showed you the column, so you can right click to add a column, or you can just click and drag to add columns to your website. Countdown, you can use the countdown. So content, what your information you're showing. Design, you can choose the different design layouts that it has available for you, or you can choose the style, so the size, text, frame, round corners. You can have animations. Every widget has an animation that you can do. And then I'll show you spacing in just a second. So that's countdown. Table, if you have information that you need to share, you can upload a CSV file and it will add it into this table format for you. Or if you needed to just add information yourself, you can do that. As you add columns, it'll go away or it'll add a new one for you. So it'll start to add columns. You can design and change the header, change the rows. You can put a border to make it look a little, maybe not like a table, but a different way to show the information, a little neater. That's a table. Next is the text and image. So this is a widget that is ready for you to use. Instead of having to add an image and then separately add a text, you can just use the text and image widget. So you can move it to the right or the left, replace the image. You can link this widget to anything. So if they need to go back to Our Faith, and then you can enter text. You can bold it, italicize it. You can link the picture, the page, or you can link the actual text. So both the actual widget or just the text. That's a text and image. You can click, hold, and drag if you need to, and it'll make it smaller, as you can see. That's the difference in dragging. It makes it smaller. Here you can actually just drag it yourself. I clicked on the image and then I just waited for the horizontal, there you go, mouse. If I need to remove it, just click the red X. Next is copyright. If you have an image or anything that you need to copyright, there's this copyright symbol and you can add their company name. Next is accordion. This one is used for, I believe it's on your home page. It's sometimes used for upcoming events. There we go. This is an accordion where you can show your events and click down on the menu. The accordion, you can also add more, remove. You can then change the title and the description. The design, you can change the design, and then all the different fonts and colors. Next is the tabs. This is another fun way to show information. It's just a way to make it look nicer. You can add more tabs, or you don't have to have an image. So to remove the image, you can choose different designs, so horizontal or vertical. And then as well, change the colors, fonts, and sizes. So if I click on tab, show button, I can remove that. I don't have to have a button. Move the text, whatever you need. So tabs is another way to show information nicely. Next is the media. So media, let's say we want to add an image here. When adding an image, let's say we have this as our image, we want to make it smaller. So we'll go to design, the width, we can make it, we can shrink it. We can, let's see here, full width. This is the full picture, but let's just make it smaller. So in this picture, you can actually move. So this is where spacing comes in handy. So you have your style, your animation, and then you have your spacing. So spacing is within the picture. So this is within the picture, the light blue. You can move to the side to make it even smaller than what it originally has it as. You can also move it towards the left and towards the right. Towards the right, if you can't, if it doesn't allow you to move it, that means it can't go more towards the right. You can add more space. So this is another way to add more space. Instead of using the spacer widget, you can just add more space above and below. Another example, you could move this into your 4 columns. Let's say you needed to space this out a little bit better. You can move it a little bit more towards the left or the right. That one, I can't move it towards the right. I can move this one a little bit more towards the left. So however you need to do that.
Are you able to edit the pictures like when they're already in there? Like for example, that one has that white space at the bottom and it wasn't due to the space. So like that right there.
So this picture, did someone add this picture?
No, I was just wondering. I think it was maybe it was something there already.
Because this picture, it looks like it has this white space in it.
Yeah, so can you edit it there, or no, it has to be outside of the website?
It would have to be outside of the website.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So with this picture, it is a little bit taller. And then, so this one has white spacing. It would include the white spacing. You can't, yeah, if you're asking like to maybe crop it out, yeah, you can't do that.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
But what you can do, I guess, is zoom it in. So design, we can, let's see, where is it at? For the image, this one you might not be able to zoom it in. I'll show you the widget where you can zoom. There's a specific widget. Let's see here. But this one, we can make it a little bit smaller. Next is the image slider.
Sorry.
Go ahead, you're fine.
So if we are going to upload an image, so that little image folder you were looking at right now, how did you get to that? Like, I'm sorry, could you upload other images in there? Or is that your desktop, or is that like
Yes, it is my desktop.
the website, or? Oh, okay, awesome.
So in the radius, you would go to media. Here, you can go to two places. You can click on the widget, and when you click replace, it'll have your history. You can click the upload button and upload from your computer, or the way you can manage your pictures is actually under widgets. It's content. So in Radius, it was media. Here it's content, site content, and then you can manage your images. All your images, you can delete them. You can use our free images that we have available, and then you have your files. So you can delete and upload your files from your computer.
Okay, awesome,
So,
thank you.
So yeah, content is to manage it. As you start to create and change pictures, you will just click on the widget, add image, and it'll pop this image picker. It's called the image picker. And here's this little plus button where you can then upload.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah. So image slider, you can add a slideshow. You can add as many pictures as you want. You can design, as in, as you can see, this one has words or at the bottom a caption. You don't have to have a caption. You can choose the slideshow speed, so every 1 second. As you can see here, you can't see the full image. So you can choose to see the full image, display full image. So what it'll do is it'll have a gray area, which you can remove. That way you can display the full image and they can't tell. So when they see the website, this is what it'll look like, and they'll be able to view the full image. You can have it to where they can pause over the hover. So if they click as they're viewing and they click over it, it'll pause it for them. So each image itself can actually be linked to something. So if they click on it, it'll take them to a page. So basically everything can be linked to something if you need it to. Design, you can make it go a little bit more towards the right or the left if you needed to, not that big. Full width. This is the full width of the screen. The arrow, there is an arrow that is displayed. It's kind of, can't really see it. So if you want to change the color of it, you can always have it on. So that means it'll always be there. And it's a thick row. So now you can actually see. And it can actually be clicked and move through the slideshow. So that's slideshow. Slider, image slider. Next is the photo gallery. This one is another way to display lots of images. For example, this at the footer, these are linked, and this is actually a photo gallery. So you can change those pictures if you would like to, but this is what it starts off as. you can choose the design and you can add a whole bunch more of images. So for example, if you chose to display it in this manner, when you add more images, it will continue to add them for you in the photo gallery. So instead of a slideshow, you can add an image, a photo gallery. As you can see, these are linked to buttons. So if you don't want that, you can remove that. So I don't want the button. We can change the way it looks. So if you want text, let's see here. When you click on the editor, you remove the title and the photo, and it'll remove that text. And then you can navigate through the pictures this way. Enable links on gallery images. You can columns. So if you wanted 5 different columns, it'll shrink the pictures a little bit smaller for you. Images. Here is where you can have some space in between them, which is what the footer has, some space in between them. You can round the corners pretty heavily. You can display the full image. So photo gallery, different things you can do. Next is I'm going to show you. So I showed you the button and then file to upload a file to download. The other two that are considered buttons, so there was button and then file. You can use icon and you can use shape. So these two are under media. These essentially, instead of having an actual button, you can have a shape linked to anything, and you can have an icon linked to anything as well. So you can do a church, you can do a key, which is, let's see, if on the home page, that's what these are. These are icons, and they are linked to an anchor, which is mass times. So if they click on mass times, it'll take them down to mass times. So those are your other ways to add buttons without actually adding a physical button. So that is, delete that. Shapes and icon. Next is video. You can upload a YouTube video, or you can use these other two platforms. You just copy and paste the link, or you can upload your video up to 200 megabytes. It may take up to a few minutes, but you can upload videos and they can click play. You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger. Before and after, a school used this to show like the first day of school and the last day of school with the kids, the students, and then a church had church renovations. So they use this for before and after pictures of the church. So you'd enter your before and your after picture. Do you guys have podcasts? You can use this widget. You would have to use SoundCloud or Mixcloud. They have links that you can upload, and then you can just press play. Next So business, you can use business. These are welcome for you to use. I won't, restaurant menu, Yelp reviews, I don't really think you have that. Map, this one is just a map. You drag it, entering your church name or church address, and you can choose the different settings for the map. So that's typically on the, either the contact us, there's the map. The other one, do you guys have a calendar on your website?
Yes. Oh, no, we don't.
No, okay. You could, if you need a calendar, you would use the Google Calendar, which is under business. You would sign into Google and then you would choose your Google Calendar. In Google, you can have different calendars. So your personal, maybe church, maybe sports for your kids. You would be able to select which one you want to use. So we have a church that has two different churches and two different websites, but one Gmail account. And so she creates two different calendars and just links the, for example, St. Anne Catholic Church calendar, and then she has her St. John Catholic Church. If you need any help with that, let me know. I can help you with a Google Calendar. Social, you're more than welcome to use these as well. Twitter feed, Facebook feed. You would need to copy and paste your Facebook page URL. So that one can also be added there. So that is widgets. Any questions for widgets?
I think we're good. Thank you.
Awesome. So as I was showing you content, site content to manage your files, that is your new place. Instead of media, it's called content. Business info is where you can change the logo. So right up at the top left corner, if you need to change your logo, that is you can either click on it and edit, or it tells you where to go to. So content library, business info. So you can edit this information here, your address, your phone number, email, whichever email to best contact. You don't have to have that because we can provide that in the contact page. Next is all of these. If you have any questions, let us know, but these you probably won't use. So just business info, content library, site content.
So, in that where it said, I think I saw something that it said like about us. Is that connected to the like about us page, or you would go to the about us page? Yeah, like right there.
So this is, no, this would not be with the About Us page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Personalize. So in Radius, you could have a pop-up. So if there was an announcement, you could have an announcement up at the top of your website. This website does things a little bit differently. You can have a little pop-up at the top. You can have a row on the header, or you can have an actual pop-up. So the way that works is you go to personalize, and the most common use is build your own. You are more than welcome to use all of these. I have not been able to use all of them, but these are essentially just templates ready to go for you. So when you build your own, you can have a specific trigger. So location, you would enter in a location. If they are near that location, they will get the pop-up. If it is like today from 12 to 2, if they go to your website, they will get that pop-up. Or you can just display to all visitors, there's no trigger. So if they go to your website, they will display all of it. You can do a new row, which is where a new section on the site is displayed. So a new row. Notification bar is at the top of the website when they go to your website, or a pop-up. So I want to show you a pop-up and what that looks like. Pop-up, you can have it go to your home page. So if they go to your home page, which typically is the first page, so what that means is when they go on your website, it's set to your home page, so it'll have the pop-up. But if they were to click on Our Faith, once they click on Our Faith, the pop-up will show up. You can have it show up immediately or after a couple seconds. Then it'll have you create your pop-up. It'll always have the title, a paragraph text for you, and a button. You can just remove it. You can add widgets to it. So if you needed to add an image, you can add an image. You don't have to though. As you can see here, it'll scroll down for you if it's too big. But you can also make it taller so that it shows the image. You can make it small, not too big. Change the colors, fonts. So here you can type in church is canceled due to weather or something like that. So you can just delete this. I'll make this a little bit bigger so that way it doesn't do that. So once you click done, it'll save this. So display rule once per visitor. So that means if I go on the website one time, it'll display it one time, or you can just leave it unchecked. When you save the rule, we can go ahead and preview the rule. So for example, let's say you created this rule and it's saved. It's successfully saved. You have to republish. Remember to click the republish button for it to go live. So let's say we want to preview it. What it'll do is it'll gray out the website and it'll pop this up. So they will then be able to click the exit and they will be able to then go forth with the website. So that is what a pop-up does. If you need to deactivate it, you will click personalize and you will click the settings tab, deactivate. So it'll be deactivated and then you can always activate it again. You can duplicate it, you can rename it, you can then edit the action and the trigger. You can go ahead and delete. So personalize, and when you go to pages, you will see pop-ups. Here you will also be able to see what you've created. From here, you can actually delete it as well. You can actually create pop-ups from here too, and it's just pop-ups. You can create a blank one like we just did, or you can use these templates as well. Little welcome, add pop-up. It'll just do the pop-up. As you can see here, now when you go to personalize, it won't have it here and under personalize. Here you can do more of the actions. So if you needed to go to the home page or here are the actual, you can personalize it a little bit more. A pop-up is just a pop-up. So just creating what you need it to do, what you need it to say. So we'll go ahead and delete that. Any questions with pop-ups?
No, thank you.
When you log in, you won't see e-commerce or the App Store. That's only what I see. So after personalize, you will see blog. Does your church have a blog?
No.
Okay. So you can use this. This is included. Some churches use this for newsletters, so you can create a new post, manage your posts. It's just a neat way to create a blog, kind of a newsletter, and you can link it on your website. So if you have questions with that, let me know. But that's something that you have included with your website. Lastly, all of these settings you probably won't use. If you have any questions, just let us know. They kind of have to do with the website and the back end. We handle this for you. So the one thing that is important that you will probably use is the site backup site. So let's say that you republished your website yesterday, and today you made new changes and you republished again. This is something that Radius does not do. If you made mistakes today and you click republish, you can go back to an old version. So May 10th, you can go back to May 10th and click restore. It'll go back to the old version that it was before you clicked republish. So that's a little neat thing. I know some churches we've had to restore because they made changes and it just kind of ruined a couple things on the websites. When you do a lot of clicks, sometimes they just end up doing something crazy and we can't fix it. So we just restore it back to the old website. It probably won't happen. It's just someone that, like I said, was just clicking a lot and just kind of did a lot of things to the website. So we can always go back to restore what it used to look like the day before. So for example, today we have 2 of them. I kind of did a lot with the test page. So another thing too is when you do a lot of work on this site, we've been here for about an hour and a half now, so it will it'll save. We can go back. So that's a little neat thing to keep in mind in case you do mess up or you just want to go back to the old site, you don't like the new changes, you can just click restore. Any questions?
Nope.
Awesome. So lastly, what we can talk about is your what we want moved over. So let me go to your website. We have interns that help us move your website over, your content. So if you, for example, we won't change these pictures unless you tell us to or you have pictures changed. What we do is add all of this information. So all of the information we will move over for you. We can do, so you have home, sacraments, ministries, all of these 7, we can do that and make it go to all of these. So we'll change it to the 7 that you have available. Is that what you would like us to do? Just go ahead and move everything over from all 7 sections?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, so we'll move that and then we'll add all of these so it'll look the same. And then I will let you know if our interns have any questions. Sometimes they find out that there's not links. So calendar, you don't have a calendar. Would you like us to still add the calendar?
Do you want to? I think we do. Yes, yes, could you go ahead and do that, please?
Okay, so because you would use the Google Calendar, what we do is we would leave that we'll create a page called Calendar, and you can then link your Gmail, because we can't sign into your Gmail since we don't have access to that or your password. So does that make sense? So we'll leave, if it's something like this where we just create the page for you, so it'll say calendar,
Okay.
and it'll be ready for you to add the Google Calendar widget.
Okay, cool.
Any questions regarding this, or would you sorry, any questions?
No, I think we're good.
Awesome. Okay. Well, do you know if you guys are gonna want a picture, this big picture? Do you know if you're gonna want anything for this big picture?
If you could scroll down in the other website, there's the church picture. That one, or you see where it's the church? Yeah, that one. If I don't know what the size is, if you are able to even get that one, but if possible, that one.
Okay, it does look a little.
Looks small.
Yeah, let me take a look real quick, and we can figure it out right now. That way, maybe you can, I don't know if you have a bigger picture or not. Let me try it real quick. Maybe.
Oh, actually, that's pretty good.
Awesome. I'll let them know that this is the picture you'd like to use. We can make it a little bit brighter. Let's see here. Awesome. I'll have them fix this for you and make it look nice and presentable. And then, perfect. We will, there we go. Make it a little bit bigger. Something like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming we want to see the whole building.
Right. Yes. That's
Awesome.
good.
Awesome. Okay. I will let them know to start moving everything over. I will be in contact. If we could just, I think it'll be about, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I think we have about 5 websites ahead that we're trying to finish right now. So I will get to you as soon as our team is done adding everything over to this new website. In the meantime, Radius is still up, so you can still edit Radius. Nothing has changed on Radius, so if you need to make web changes to your pages, it's as if we're not doing this, okay? So everything's the same for Radius.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, if you don't have any more questions, I think I'll give you some extra time to your day.
Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. We'll talk
Bye.
to you ladies soon, and you guys have a great day.